Hello, welcome to Ink of Fate, a primal Viking adventure in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I am your Dungeon Master KJ, and I'm really excited, y'all, that we get to play this game tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to talk a little bit about the setting and about this adventure that we're playing, but before we do that, let's meet our wonderful cast of players. Jay, let's start with you. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Jay, I'm going to be playing my absolute favorite, a Squirrel Beastborn Warlock named Hap, who is hopefully going to live up to their name and have only good rolls today. Please.
Here's hoping. Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm playing the Grim Fighter Call, and I'm really hoping we roll as good as we did when we practiced.
Yeah, here's hoping. Devil?
I'm playing a Tiefling Ranger, Nordra.
Thank you. And Joanna?
Hello, I'm Joanna. Hello. I play Odrune, an elvish-looking, reluctant barbarian.
The Reluctant Barbarian.
The
I love
reluctant
it.
barbarian. That is their official title now.
Perfect. All right, so Elizabeth will be joining us later this evening, probably around the break time. So I'll be running her character once we get into like the combat and such. But before we dive in, let's do a quick recap for anybody who might be new to this story. Just a little bit about what this world is that we're playing in. Ink of Fate takes place in a world called Grimnir. It's very primal, very Viking-esque, though not necessarily historically accurate. I don't want anybody to like come back at us and say, "Hey, they didn't have that." It's a fantasy world themed off of Vikings. Very big on clan loyalty. Meeting your destiny. Earning glory for your clan. At some point, I'll get smoother with this introduction. Grimnir is entering its third straight year of winter, which a lot of people are very worried about, and rightly so. And these heroes have been tasked with something. Let's recap what got us to this point where we're at right now. All of these heroes were hired by Hrolf, a very well-known, well-reputed raider from the Hallharn clan. They were assigned to investigate a tower at a place called Kekel. They found many interesting, intriguing mysteries at this tower, including a young girl named Siobhan, who managed to find herself a replacement for her wheelchair in the form of a wicker cat type entity that now she's able to sit on as it scuttles around. They found a mysterious globe that gave hints at things that may have happened, may happen in the future, may be happening right now. Who knows? Um, Anything else interesting? There was like a head. You
We
found a
found a
head.
head. We found a
Yeah.
head that
Yeah.
had the mouth stitched up.
Iron head. Yeah, the
Little
head.
Easter
Cast of a
egg
head made of
for
iron.
any Norse mythology geeks out there.
Yeah. Um, uh, so yeah, you have successfully investigated that tower, but as you were leaving the tower, not only did you have to fight off several wicker type sentries that attacked Hrolf and several of the raiders who were investigating the tower with you, but there are also ships that have approached from the mysterious War Clan, what was a defunct, old, obsolete clan that no longer existed, but now there's ships flying their colors, and they're now actively burning up your ships, the two ships you have access to, and firing on your remaining crew members. So, at the end of last session, we did roll initiative to see where everybody
crap, did
was
we?
in combat order. Yes,
I
that was the very
forgot.
last thing we did. Yeah. Um, so, let's go ahead and switch over to the map and take a look at just recap where everybody is and what's going on. So you all are in the top left corner of this map, all clustered around Hrolf. Siobhan is also kind of trailing behind you, but she is completely unarmored, and looks generally not a combat-ready individual. You have your remaining fellow allies down here forming a shield wall, so they will act on a single turn as a single unified entity. You have 4 enemy raiders coming in down here. And very importantly, you have the enemy ship way down in the bottom right corner when the art runs out and you just get plain old blue background. Most of those raiders are rowing, though the ones that seem to be firing at you are just the top cluster of 5 that are at the top. The leader seems to be this one with a slightly different art style. Sort of at the middle there. So,
Oh, okay.
So that's where everybody is. We are going to now at this point, just for an idea, Hrolf, who's been kind of generally in charge of things, the main thing he's done so far is order the other raiders to form a shield wall to fend off the other raiders who are on foot, which does seem to indicate you might be freed up to focus on the archers. It is completely up to you what you do, though. So we are going to... initiative is going to go Northra, Hap, Hrolf. I'll be going for Ada. The enemy archers, then Kull, then the leader of the enemies, then your shield wall, which I will also be rolling for, then Odrun, then the enemy raiders who are on foot. Any questions before we dive? Oh, also something you all were asking before we went live. Which one is Aaron? The one with the pink icon is your good raider buddy Aaron, the half orc that you all are so fond of, and I really
We're
hope
enamored
nothing
with.
happens to him. So, make your objectives out of that what you will. Prioritize that how you will. Northra, you get to go first. What would you like to do?
I'm probably going to try and get to our burning ship to fire against our enemies.
All right, go ahead and roll your
So-
attack. Oop, that came in loud, sorry.
Hold on.
Let me know if I need to adjust the music at all.
I am going to aim for the ship. I'm not particularly trying to hit anyone. So, as long as I can hit on fire.
Okay, let's see, you're aiming for the enemy ship? Your voice is coming in a little
Yeah, pretty
choppy for me.
Aim for the ship
Okay.
and try to burn it down.
Okay, let's see, I hate being this person, but I don't think you have anything on you that would allow you to shoot fire arrows at this point. I don't think you have any, like, alchemist fire or, like, fire arrows in your inventory.
Actually, burning are we? I want to get within range of burning use it.
I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time picking up what you're saying.
I want to use our own burning ship to get the fire.
Okay, so the ship is on the water. It would take you a few turns to get there.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually.
Sorry, one more time. I'm gonna turn down the music so that I can hear a little better.
I'll get there eventually.
You'll get there eventually? Okay. Yeah, I do want to also say the burning ships, they are, like, in the water. You would have to swim to them, so that would slow you down even more. You are in range to hit, like, any person you want to on the enemy ship. Your longbow can reach that far without disadvantage.
I only rolled a 10, so I don't think I'm hitting anyone.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, 10 will miss, so, do you want to move anywhere? Oh, you did move.
I did.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Hap. What would you like to do?
Alright, so looking at this terrain, everything is kind of rocky but like maybe flat, or is there any kind of climbable areas I can get up to make it harder for people to get to me?
To make it harder for them to get to you, mm, probably not here. Like it's a rough, uneven surface, but there's not really anything that would make any kind of barrier.
Alright, well then, ignoring that, what I'm gonna do first, can I see this leader? Like, do I have a shot at this leader person on this ship?
You do have visibility on the leader, yes.
Okay, so I know that personally I cannot take on all of these, but I'm hoping by attacking the leader, I can at least intimidate them or heavily encourage them to leave. So I'm gonna do an Eldritch Blast on the leader. An Eldritch Blast is 120 feet. Aha!
Okay.
Just in range.
You are within range. Roll, you get that attack.
Yes!
Oh,
Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo! Go Hap!
beautiful. Nat 20 on that
Yes!
Eldritch Blast. Rolled that double damage. Beautiful.
Okay, so that is 17. At least according to
17
roll 20.
force damage. Yes. Yeah, your Eldritch Blast comes flying out of there and just like crashes right into this dude. He's a little bit startled from that. He
Yeah.
is still rocking and rolling though.
Okay,
Anything else for
well.
your turn?
I'm hoping that discouraged somebody. And then, I'm gonna be honest, now that I know that they're still in range, I'm not gonna move myself closer, because, I'm
Valid.
pushy. So yeah, I'm just
Perfectly
gonna use that moment to kind of just hype up the rest of the group. And then that'll be my turn.
Perfect. All right. Hrolf is going to pretty much dash. Let's see. How far can you go, Hrolf? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. He is barreling straight for these folks, going like, me and the shield wall got these ones. Focus on the archers.
Oh.
Okay. And then Ada. The initiative tracker is in the way of me moving her. Give me a second. Let's see. She is going to go this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Like there. And she's gonna hold Mind Sliver for if anybody gets too close. She's gonna mostly focus on protecting Siobhan. All right. The archers are all going to start firing, and they are using short bows, which have a range of 80 feet. The nearest target from them, from the furthest archer, I will say, is more than 80 feet away. So all of their attacks will be made at disadvantage. I believe even the closest ones are still over 80 feet away from all targets. So, so all these are going to be coming in at. We got 4 disadvantage attacks at the shield wall. Let's see, 1 second. Let's see, short bow. Okay, and shield wall's armor class is 15, so none of those hit. Whole volley of arrows comes flying in. and they all completely miss everybody in that shield wall.
Heck yes.
With that,
Thank God.
dang. Yeah, you notice that the wind is picking up. Like, there's a little bit of snow. Like, they're struggling. Oh, and those should have all been at disadvantage anyway, so it would have been even worse.
I was gonna say they didn't look like it.
Attack?
Yeah, that
didn't
wasn't
piss
even
them
like
off?
You
I
frightened them
wasn't
too
even
much,
rolling at
Hap.
disadvantage.
You
I
So.
frightened them
obviously
too. You
frightened
are
them.
incredibly intimidating.
Cull, you are up.
Okay. I think from where he is, he can hit with his longbow, I believe.
Yes.
So he's
Longbow's got
gonna
great range.
aim I love it. He's gonna hit for that leader on the ship that Hap also hit with his longbow.
Beautiful.
The 16.
16 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, that's a 12.
Woohoo!
12. Excellent. Yeah, your arrow just kind of sails right past the ones that are missing coming from the long ship and just right into his shoulder, and he kind of snarls at you. Anything else for your turn?
That'll be it.
Okay. All right. Next, you are all going to see a thing happen. Let's see. Where's my fun stuff? I have a thing. Sorry, I have things I don't get to use very often, and I like having them.
You know,
Where is
I don't know
this?
how you could phrase that to make me not scared.
Yeah,
Because-
or at least not
Yeah.
wanting to
No,
like
trust me, you'll like it. You'll like it. It's fun.
wanting to like, hack into their computer and see what it is. That's more me. Like
Yeah.
you guys know my tech skills, so you know that's
Okay,
not
I
even close
can
to possible.
spell.
But
Okay. Yeah, so the leader on the ship starts like swirling his hands together, and generating some energy, and some leaves swirl around his hands. And he lets out a snarl, and you could swear you see fangs. He's human, but he looks very bestial for a moment. And he sends energy flying out, to right about. Let me move it. Give me a sec. Here.
the frick!
No,
He's gonna hit
you see
Rolf!
spikes. You see spikes coming up out of the ground as spike growth is cast. Let me make sure that's under all the tokens.
Rude.
Very.
I don't like this
And
guy.
I need to
No.
actually open the spell to see what kind of damage it does. I think it's mostly just damage when you move through that space, but I just have to double check. This is the fun part of having so many stat blocks. I could have just looked this up on my phone. I could have been done. But no, I want to open it from the character sheet and find it on the spell list. And... Can I find on my phone before this finishes loading?
Ooh, that's a
Let's
question.
try this.
That's a question. Let's see who wins.
No, I don't want to update my phone.
That would
Oh,
not
wait,
help.
wait. Let's try it. Come on, click on it. Click on it.
I would like to say if you can't find it in 5 seconds, we should just say the spell fails. Bye.
I agree.
No. There we go. There we go. Okay. Area becomes difficult terrain. When a creature moves into or within the area, they take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet they travel. We don't have to worry about the camouflage part because you all saw it pop up. You all saw where it landed, but it does kind of become invisible. A lot of people forget that fun effect that spike growth has.
So you could literally
that's-
stand there and
yeah.
just like wave at things and the spikes wouldn't damage you as long as you didn't move.
Yep. Yeah, Rolf and the shield wall are all fine, but now if they try to move through that area, they will take damage. So,
Good to know.
Who thinks
Uh,
that they're gonna try to move through that area anyway?
Well, except Aaron. Aaron's outside of it.
Go,
That's
Aaron.
all I needed.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so for the shield wall, what do they have that's ranged? Their spear volley is only 20 feet. And these are very squishy folks, so they are, yeah, this one's gonna kind of break off from the rest and start moving around, which I believe that's Aaron.
Aaron, be careful.
So he's gonna be acting independently, and he can actually get up here, and do an attack. He's gonna use his Skegox, which does hit for 2 slashing damage against this nearest raider. Odrun, it is your turn.
Oh goodness, it's already my turn. Hang on, sorry, I was adjusting something. Okay, well, Odrun has nothing ranged whatsoever. Not at all. We are barbarian, get up and thwack people. So I did have a question in terms of movement
Yes.
on the field. I know that each of the squares represents like a 5-foot type thing. If I go diagonally, does it still work that way?
Still 5 feet. Yep.
Okay.
It's not real geometry, it's just how the game works.
All right. I like broken things. That's fine. I'm going to take full advantage.
Please do.
Let's see. We're going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I'm going to do a dash for my action because
Perfect.
I have nothing else. And then
Yep,
5,
go
10,
ahead and move.
15, 20, 25. Okay, so I can move all the way over there. Boop. There we are. And I'm not close enough to rage yet, so I'm gonna hold off.
Okay.
But Odrun is not happy seeing her friends being hurt, or seeing their friends being hurt. Not a thing.
Yes, for sure. Okay, let me just double check what these raiders can do and see if any of them are going to go ranged, because if they're only melee, then this is not going to be fun. There you are, raiders.
You talking about our
they do
raiders or
have-
theirs?
No, the enemy raiders down there by Krolf and Aaron.
Oh.
So, all right. So let's see. We're gonna have one go after Aaron and one go after Frolf. Okay, that's definitely a miss. And that one going after Frolf does meet his AC.
Ugh.
So Hrolf is gonna take 7 slashing from that particular raider. The other, oh, he had to move into the spike growth though to reach Hrolf, didn't he?
He did.
Oh no, poor Babby. It's gonna have to take some damage.
Oh, we take the marsh.
What did I say? 2d4.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. That's a 7. Yeah, he just, charges forward, like legs dragging through the spikes and groans, and is now just covered in streaks of blood as he approaches Hrolf. All right, these other two down here are going to move up at least a little bit. Now, their range on their thrown attack is 50 feet, which means
Oh, screw you.
could hit Odrun or any of these folks here. Okay.
Shoulda raged.
So, all right. So one of them is going to throw one at one of the raiders that's in the spike growth. And I think they're both going to do that, actually. So, I'm going to do 2 hurl attacks. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Those both hit. Okay. Um. All right. That does bring. Do, 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 do. The whole shield wall is kind of treated as a unit. So let's see. They already. Aaron detached, and then they take another 16 total. No, 12 total. I can count. Okay.
That's a easy.
So one of the raiders is taken out
No!
by that one. So there are 3 remaining in the shield wall, and they are still caught up in that spike growth. That is it for the enemy raiders. We are back up to the top of the order with Northra. What would you like to do?
Move and shoot.
Who are you shooting?
She can. How can I get into this water here? Or do you guys get some more rock?
That's jumping into the rocky ocean.
I want the boat. Fire.
Okay, you will not be able to shoot anybody from
Okay,
in the water. So if you're gonna jump in the water, you'll need to shoot before then.
Not a good idea. Honestly. Okay, so what does that do again? Yeah.
Sorry?
Favorite enemy. What does that do again?
That's more for like tracking and out of combat. Yeah, it doesn't apply in this moment. I don't think there's much you can do other than like fire up a shot at somebody. Who are you
No,
shooting?
I don't think that. I'm firing towards the archers.
Okay. That'll definitely hit the nearest archer. Go ahead and roll damage for that. 6 piercing. Beautiful. Alright, yep, your arrow goes flying right into one of those archers. They are still standing. Anything else for your turn?
That is it.
Alright, Hap, you're up.
Well, Hap is definitely very upset that the shield wall is being affected, but she is under the impression that she can have a bigger impact if she attacks the leader. So, I'm going to rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm. Eldritch Blast the
How
leader.
does the leader look? Out of curiosity, still bestial, still angry, maybe on the verge of dying.
Not on the verge of dying. He actually looks kind of on par with Hrolf as far as sturdiness. And Hrolf looks pretty sturdy.
Okay, well, gotta go down eventually. So, rinse and repeat. Come on, come on. Oh, no, this is not how dice are supposed to work. No.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, your Eldritch Blast comes up and just the waves are like completely not in your favor. The ocean is just starting to be a little bit more tumultuous, and the wave sends the ship it dips, like skims the top of his head, and the Eldritch Blast misses.
all right. Well, I'm getting a little frustrated, but I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move right behind this raider right here.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping maybe I can be of some help.
Cool.
Which raider is this one? Is it happen to be a very tall, beefy, good cover raider?
They're medium. I don't know if that makes a difference for your.
Well, I'm small, but I'm just saying, it's like I'm going up there, but I'm also gonna be like, don't see me, please. But also, I'm
They're a
here
more
now.
prominent target, sure. All right.
I'm guilty, but I'm here, supporting.
Yes. All right. Hrolf is going to Oh, let's see. Sorry, one sec. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Oh, dang it. Sorry, I'm just checking one thing. Give me one sec. I want to see if there's like one thing that can come up that helps you. Bear with me. If it works, it's a good thing. And for the record, this is easier than having to scroll through the PDF. Nope,
Also, I might have accidentally moved to the wrong spot. I meant to move like right there.
Oh.
So I'm closer to both of them.
Yeah. Hap, go ahead and re-roll that Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Now it's a 22, so I'm predicting how the rest of this session's gonna go, which is a roller coaster.
So it looks like the waves are about to dip him out and it's gonna brush over his head, but at that moment you stumble over a rock and it throws your aim a little bit off of where you were aiming and it sails right for that leader. Go ahead and roll damage.
I meant to do that. Duh. 4.
4 force damage. Lovely. Absolutely hilarious. Okay. Rolf's turn. He is yeah, he's gonna do his Warhammer attack on the nearest raider. That is a 9, which misses. And yeah, he's actually gonna do his multi-attack. It looks like he's straining himself doing this, but he's gonna do another Warhammer attack, which does hit. Oh, come on, it's not automatically rolling damage? Give me a break. Come on. Alright. Okay. Really? Okay, 3 slashing damage. But he does take a level of exhaustion from that. Alright, and then Ada is going to hold on, I need to mark that Rolf has a level of exhaustion. There we go. Ada's gonna work this way because she wants to get within 60 feet of the raid leader. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That does not get us within 60 feet. Crap. This is gonna be fun. We got a squishy wizard coming up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that's as far as she can dash. So, looks like she's lining up a shot for some magic missiles at the raid leader archers, whoever needs to be hit. Raid archers are going to fire at... Let's see, there's 4 of them. They will aim for Odrune, I believe, without disadvantage. And then at Frolf and the shield wall with disadvantage. So, gonna be a lot of clicking. So, without disadvantage, it's a 7. So, Odrune, you're fine. At Frolf with disadvantage, it's a nat 1. Alright. And then 2 more shots coming at the shield wall, both at disadvantage. So, first one... okay, yep, that misses. And... last one with the disadvantage. 14 misses the shield wall. So again, these archers, like, something in the water, man. There is something in the water that they are struggling. Cull, you are next.
Okay. Paul, he's gonna go ahead and move 30 feet, so he is nearby Hap. And then he's gonna rinse and repeat as well and take another shot at the main leader on the ship.
Okay.
With his longbow.
Yep.
It's a 19.
19 hits. Roll damage.
Nice.
And
Okay,
that's
now this
7.
is something very important. Spike growth is concentration.
Yeah.
The leader took 7 damage, which means needs to make a DC 10 con save.
Wait, did he not do that with mine?
Oh, good point. I'm gonna make 2 con saves. We're gonna see if we drop concentration on spike growth. Thank you. All right, so con save for the Eldritch Blast. Concentration. That is a 6. Spike growth drops.
Yeah.
Well, it damaged the enemy, so now I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Beautiful. All right. Anything else for Cull's turn?
That'll be it.
Okay. It's the leader's turn. After that last shot from Cull, he is bloodied. He is looking like he's starting to really struggle here. He starts signaling for the rowers to start rowing, and is going to move the ship. Oh gosh, how many feet? They're gonna be gone in 2 rounds. So I'm gonna keep it in the same spot just for my sanity. So the ranges are gonna be basically the same regardless. But in 2 rounds, they're going to be sailing far enough away that it's not gonna matter. The archers do still seem to be shooting, but now the rowers are moving the ship away. But he is only ordering the crew for sailing, so he does not do anything on his turn. The shield wall, with the 3 remaining raiders, they are going to move 5, 10, 15, and they're going to move up here, and then, like, whoop, not on top of Hrolf. That is not your spot. Over here, friends. Beautiful. Aaron is now, a reunified part of the shield wall, so that replenishes. That is important. That does improve their ability to do stuff. So we're gonna give 10 points back to the shield wall stats. The shield wall is going to do a shield push. Let's do this.
Off a cliff.
Not off a cliff. No, the raiders all have to make a strength save, or they're gonna take some damage. So, we have 4 strength saves coming up. Oh good, you all can see these. I didn't hide them. That's a pass.
I wish you did hide them.
Yeah.
Like, what?
The
Oh
frick!
my gosh.
Yeah, they're doing fine.
Those are some
So,
hefty
let's see.
guys.
They're desperate now.
Now-
The leader's abandoning them.
On a successful save, it halves the damage, and they're not pushed back. So I'm gonna roll that 2d8 plus 1 for the damage. They're gonna take half of this. Okay, so they're all each gonna take 5 damage, which I believe that one's bloodied. This one is dead. This one also takes that damage. And last one. Okay, so only one is killed from that, but the other ones are definitely struggling from that. That was very impactful. Odrun, you are next.
Question. How far exactly can I jump?
You can jump a number of feet equivalent to your strength score. So if you have a strength of 12, you can jump 12 feet.
15 feet, huh? Okay. All right. So, say Odurin was to come up to the edge of this cliff.
Cool.
So, you know, the 5, 10, 15, right there. Say I wanted to get to that little bit of land right down there.
You can make that without even needing to roll a check, yes.
Frick yes. Okay.
They all didn't think I knew the jump rules, did you? I'm the only one
I
who
don't know the
understands
jump
that.
rules, so sorry.
Nobody
My
knows the
jump
jump
rules.
rules.
I don't know
I
the
get
jump
the
rules.
rules.
I'm still baby.
Yours off the top of squirrel jump rules? No, I do not remember off the top of my head. I
Squirrel
would have to
jump is
look
a
at
little
your
different.
cheat sheet for that.
Okay.
Just say it.
So
Okay.
that
You
essentially
successfully leap onto that outcropping.
so that essentially takes care of my movement. How far
Mhm.
can I swim?
It's considered difficult terrain, so every 5 feet in the water costs 10 feet of walking.
Okay. If I were to, yes, I'm saying this as for dash purposes, because does jump count as an action or is it
Jumping is movement. So
just movement?
it's
Okay.
15 feet of movement for that jump.
So I could go another, if I were to say jump off of this, I could go another 15 feet. So 15, and that would leave me. I could get up right next to the ship. I wouldn't be on it, but I would be
What's your
right next
speed?
to it. 25.
Okay, so yeah, with dashing you moved.
So I moved 15 and then I jumped 15 essentially.
Okay.
So I guess that's fudging a little.
I mean, it's fine.
I mean, it was a running jump.
Yeah.
You did have.
I will say you will not, even with dashing, you will not make it to the ship. Full dashing because you don't have a swim speed, and they are moving. They're picking up speed now, so.
And they're going like down, if we were to say south, essentially.
They're going like north.
Or that way, or that way.
Like up on the map.
They're going up on the map, so they're heading towards the outlet there, the cliff.
Kind of like around it.
Okay. Because I really want to get to that damn ship.
There's a lot of people there.
I don't care.
Do you have
Dang
any
it,
thrown
because
weapons?
I mean, I have a javelin. I don't know what
Javelins
the
are
range
good?
is on a javelin, though.
I believe it's 20, 80. I think 20 feet before you get disadvantage.
Okay.
So yeah, you could throw it with disadvantage.
Okay. All right, fine. All right. Since you don't want me to get on the boat.
Now, as consolation, would you like to rage before this attack?
Sure. Let's rage.
Okay.
Might as well.
Just in case. If it hits, it ups the damage.
Sweet. Yes, we are raging. Wee. Wait, it does up the damage?
Raging,
cool.
yes.
I didn't know that. Cool.
Yep, adds your proficiency bonus to your damage.
All right, but we're throwing at disadvantage, so we get a 10.
Okay. That misses, but you are attacking, you are raging, and you are definitely a target up closer. But the ship is moving, so that will hopefully no longer be an issue soon. All right. Down here on the left, the 3 remaining enemy raiders are going to attack. One of them's going to move forward towards Hrolf there. So going from left to right, they're each going to make an attack. Let's see, 1, 2. That misses Hrolf by a long shot. That one unfortunately hits, and the shield wall as a whole takes 4 slashing damage, but they do not lose anybody on that hit. We are back to Northra. What would you like to do?
And I believe with dashing, I can make it quite far here.
You can also shoot like hella far.
So she will make her over here with dashing. Like not properly.
Sorry, what were you asking?
I believe I can get somewhere over here towards the edge.
Let's see, where were you before? You
There.
can, yeah. The spot that I'm looking at you on, you can get there. I'm not sure where you're trying to move to.
I believe with dashing I can get over here.
With dashing, yes. Yep.
So I'm going to turn into this for the ship to go by and jump on it. These guys are not getting away with the ship.
I don't think the ship is. What's your strength score?
And
Yeah, that ship is definitely not getting within 10 feet of the cliffs there.
well, when it's getting a little closer, I'll jump in.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that on your next turn. Hap, we're up to you.
Still aiming for that leader. I have single-minded focus. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get them. I'm gonna get them. Alright, come on. 15.
15 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, thank God. 9.
Ooh. Solid. Yeah. Eldritch Blast comes rocketing right into that leader. He is barely hanging on. He looks like yeah. Yeah, definitely reeling from that. Anything else for your turn?
You said they're heading north?
Yeah, up on the map.
Alright, well, you know. Okay, so in anticipation of them heading north, I am gonna move maybe about here so that I still am possibly in range for a future attack. So I know the ship's not moving,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where I'm gonna go.
Perfect.
Alright.
All right. And Hrolf is going to do just one Warhammer attack.
Don't die.
Which does hit. For another 3 damage. This raider is still up from that. Ada is going to. Let's see. What's your range? We need 60 feet. Okay, not too far. It is going to go just a bit closer. Maybe about like there. And is going to fire off magic missile at the closest archer. Sorry, I always have to double check. D4 plus 1 for each one. Okay. 2, 4, and 4. Lovely. Which almost takes out one of these archers. One of them looks, the one in the front looks very heavily bloodied from that. Let's see. The raid archers are going to start firing. One of them, let's see. We've got one coming at Odrune without disadvantage, one coming at Northra without disadvantage, one at Ada without disadvantage, and one at the nearest shield wall raider with disadvantage. So first at Odrune, dirty 20. So you take 8 piercing damage halved to 4 damage because you are a barbarian and you are currently raging. At Ada is a 9, so that misses Ada. At Northra, that is a 17 to hit Northra. You take 7 piercing, and then disadvantage at the shield wall. Let me roll it twice. Give me a second. Okay, and then that, I believe, hits the shield wall. So the shield wall takes 4 piercing damage, which does reduce the number in the shield wall to 3 raiders. So this raider on the end goes down. So archers are doing a little better this round now that people are getting in range and they're getting more practice, and the waves seem to have subsided a little bit. Cull, you are up next.
Okay, Cull's gonna move just to the right, so he's in the pathway between Hap and the archers, and he's gonna use his longbow to attack the leader.
Okay.
That's a 12.
12 unfortunately misses.
That's the rest of my turn.
Okay. And I'm sorry, don't have any actions to assist you on that.
You're good.
All right. The enemy leader. Let me double check if there's anything else he wants to do on this turn here.
Die for me.
Don't.
How dare.
Oh, good for him. He has cure wounds. He's gonna heal himself up a little.
I had to jump on his ship myself.
Now you see why I wanted to get on there.
That is okay. Oof. Recovers 9 hit points back. His skin kind of stitches together, and you see a little swirl of wind go around him.
This is just an FU to me, man.
And the ship continues moving forward. At the basically, by the time it gets around to his turn again, the ship will be out of range. The shield wall only has 3 raiders remaining, but they can attempt a shield push. So this is going to be another strength save on these remaining raiders here. Let's see. First enemy raider gets a 19 and saves. Nat 1. And nat 20. So one of them, the one in front of Hrolf, gets pushed back 15 feet. And then that is... One sec. Oh, sorry. Shield push is the ability. Okay. D8 plus 1. Okay, so 5. The other 2 take half of 5. That actually finishes off the one that gets pushed back. He's pushed back and brought to 0 hit points. The other 2 are still standing. Odrune, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, since the ship is out of my range and I have very little range, I think I'm gonna do a little bunny hop to get back behind their shield wall, essentially, or behind their raiders. So,
Okay.
you said I can jump equal to my strength. So, 5, 10, 15 gets me over here. And then 5, 10 gets me there. Yes, hi. Sorry, my cat needs a lot of attention right now. And then on the dash action, I can 5, 10, 15 there, and 5, 10. So I'm back behind them.
Beautiful.
So
Excellent.
yeah, I don't really have anything else I can do. But I'm here.
Nope, all good. You are there.
As a bonus action, can I shout something to Rolf?
Sure, what do you want to say?
Keep one alive so we can find out what they're doing here.
I'll try. Alright, the 2 remaining enemy raiders are going to each attack the raiders in the shield wall in front of them. One on the left gets a 13, which I believe misses. And yeah, both of those miss. So they are failing at that. Northra, you are up. By the end of this next round, the ship will be out of range.
Do I have enough movement to jump and swim to it?
You do not.
If I got it. Even if I dash. It
No,
dies.
but your longbow range is well within.
Identical. Okay. You guys have to shoot at them.
Okay, at one of the archers.
Yeah, because I'm gonna fucking die if I don't get rid of those archers.
Unfortunately, a 6 misses. And it seems like as they're picking up speed, it's just like getting a little bit too tumultuous with like all the rigging in the way.
And I miss.
All right, Hap, you are up.
I feel very insulted that he killed himself. So let's try this again. Once again, trying for this leader, testing my patience. Come on, come on.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay, this is
Alright.
very important. Roll
Yeah.
damage for this.
please.
This could do it.
No, no.
Oof.
Damn.
Oof. Yeah, that healing is what saved him. So he is still reeling, barely standing. He starts signaling to the other, to the rowers, row faster, row faster. You can barely hear him over the wind, but you can hear that he's like
Okay.
freaking out at these darts that are going right towards him.
I have very, very important question here. Is there any place I can position myself where at the beginning of next round they're still within 120 feet of me?
Not at the speed they're going. They're accelerating to the point where they're just gonna be out of range of everything.
Well, that sucks. So, for the rest of my turn, I'm just gonna glance over at Cole and be like, "Get him for me," and then I'm gonna start making my way towards the shield wall. Very pissed. So let's see here. 35. I'll go there.
Just see a little squirrel stomping across the.
I have been insulted. Insulted. So, yes.
All right.
This is.
Rolf's just gonna hop along and do another Warhammer. Oh, he got that 20. Good job,
Nice.
Rolf. He rolled a 6 and a 3. So that's 9 damage total on just one of these raiders. So
Nice.
we're gonna say it's the one that was literally about to attack Aaron. So
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
get him.
Good job, Rolf. All right. Okay, Ada is going to. She's barely in range for this, but we're gonna try a Mind Sliver, which is an intelligence save. Which I believe that saves. Let me just double check.
On their leader?
Yeah. Because the range is 60 feet, so I'm just gonna say it was barely in range. I know I'm being a little bit, like, iffy on the ranges as they're, like, sailing out of range, but, okay, yeah. Unfortunately, he did pass that save, so, alright, the archers, are gonna make one last volley, aiming at, let's see. Everybody who's closest in order is Northra, Ada, Cull, and Hap. So in that order, I'm gonna roll these short bow attacks, all at disadvantage because they are moving too far out of range. So first at Northra, with disadvantage, is 14. Does a 14 hit you, Northra?
I'm versus 16.
Okay, beautiful. So that misses. Unfortunately, Ada does take 5 piercing damage. Then Cull. 16 hits, 7 piercing damage on you. And then at Hap, that misses.
My scariness has paid off. I've intimidated you.
Without even looking, you just whack it out of the sky with your
Yeah,
tail.
with 5 damage, Ada is instantly bloodied. But that is it for the archers. They are about to be out of range. They are accelerating very quickly. So, Cull, you can do one last shot at the ship or refocus on the raiders on land.
Yeah, he's gonna take one last shot at the leader
All right.
with his longbow.
Come on!
All right.
And you see him.
18 hits. Roll the damage.
10.
Oh. Describe what it looks like as you take out this leader.
It's funny because Cull is immediately like, I hate this guy because he healed, but Hap running by him and going, take care of him for me. He's like, I'll take care of him. And just like centers his stance and like focuses for a second and then just lets it fly.
Nice. And as the leader gets taken out, you see it sailing further into the distance so that you can't reach it. It looked like he was preparing to, like, you saw his fingers crackling with lightning, and you almost saw storm clouds starting to form above him as your arrow just pierces right through him, and everything just withers away as he collapses. Alright, the shield wall is going to shield wall against one person, I guess. We got one weeny little strength save. Let's do save.
I told them not to kill him.
That's a nat 1. And this other raider gets yeeted back. And you all, yeah, he's like back there.
Ooh, if we got no prisoners?
And
No prisoners.
Oh no.
that's
Damn it.
instantaneously successful. And you see the ships sailing into the distance as your ships continue to burn. At this point, looks like beyond repair.
So we lost 2 of our people? I'm gonna run over to this closest one and check on, make sure they're dead instead of just kinda dead.
Yes. Yeah, everybody who is fallen is dead.
Okay, well, Aaron's alive, so that's great. But who's dead?
Good question. Let me look at my notes.
It's not Aaron. We know that.
Yeah,
Not
Aaron's
all.
up, and there's 2 other raiders. The ones that are left, you do have Scopy, the green dragonborn with the yellow war paint, and you do have Herdis, who's the one with the dark beard and all the little metal clasps in his beard. So, with that, we are going to take a quick break a little bit early, and we will be able to have Elizabeth join us as we see what happens in the aftermath of this combat. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 8 to 10 minutes.
Hang on. There it is.
Welcome, welcome back. Let's get right back to it, shall we? Hope y'all enjoyed the break. Let me get my mood music back on now that we're out of combat. Let me get the ocean waves back in there. Yeah, that feels like the right ambiance. Let me know if we need to rebalance anything or if it gets too loud. So, the ship continues to sail in the distance, and oh, I forgot one more sound effect that you probably notice. The ship's on fire.
Power ship.
Both
Two
of them.
ships, both of them yours. You see the mast kind of teeter
burn down
on one of
theirs.
them and fall as it sinks. One of them collapses as it lowers down into the water. Even with like the light, very thin snow that's falling, the ships continue to burn until you can still see a lot of the structure to them, but they are definitely unsaleable, unusable. You could potentially get a shipbuilder to repair them, but to get them to a shipbuilder would be quite a lot of effort. Well, so that happened. Is everyone all right? Is everyone okay?
Mostly, it seems.
Right. Well, wish we could say the same for everyone else in the crew here. That was sneaky, underhanded work they were doing, firing everything from the ship there. Didn't even come face to face with us. Bloody underhanded.
What? I'm just confused. Why would a mostly defunct sort of group suddenly come after a group when and one of those had the Wolf flag on the mast? What possibly could drive someone to do that?
Nobody attacks the Volv. Every clan knows that you don't disrespect the Seers. You don't want to bring down misfortune and have them curse you. It's very bad luck. I mean, none of us are technically Volv, but we're under their protection, so they. I can't think of a good reason why any of them would have. We need to. What? Sorry.
Do we know of anyone who's ever attacked the Wolf in the past? You said no one does now, but has someone before?
Not that I've seen, and I've been around for pushing my second century at this point. We do need to take care of a little bit of a chore. I'm hoping you'll be able to help me out a bit. Legs still kind of me. We do need to make a pyre for all the fallen here, allies and foes alike. Need to send them off to Valhalla. Any of you care to join me?
I'll help.
Great. May take a bit of time. It's not exactly a foresty area, but I'm sure we can manage. Oh look, a burning ship. Let's get some salvage there.
Well, would it do just to put them in the burning ship?
No, then they'll die at sea and then they'll sink down and they'll turn into sea monsters.
Fair. Fair. Okay.
At least that's what they say.
Fair.
Yes. Hap is gonna help. But I'm gonna, as I'm, trying to help with my tiny body with the enemy dead, I'm gonna ruffle around to see if I can find any clues.
Make an investigation check.
Before I do that, I'm gonna ask Cole to come over and help me, buddy, as I congratulate Cole for killing the enemy. I am ecstatic. I never had any doubt. Cole, of course, you are definitely gonna do it. Because a victory for you is a victory for us. So, I'm just living in this moment. while rifling through the dead man's
Yeah,
pockets.
yeah, roll an advantage.
Well, it was mostly the
Oh.
bonded thing.
Take
I
your
realized
buddy
I wanted the-
bonus.
I wanted the buddy bonus.
Cole's definitely helping. Maybe not so much with the pyre, but with investigating. And there's a little smirk on his face. He can't hide it every single bit of pride.
Oh yeah, no, I'm hyping you up so much.
Yeah.
Okay, 16.
16. Yeah, the main thing that you find is they are wearing the same black and white colors that you saw on their flag. So they are matching those clan colors. You do see you almost miss it, but in one of them has in their pocket a little wooden carving of a creature. Seems to match the creature that was depicted on their sail. Creature you haven't seen before with very triangular features, pointed ears and a pointed snout and snarling fangs.
I'm gonna pocket that. For sure.
Everybody make a perception check.
Wow, I'm too distracted.
I think
Interesting.
the
Other than that, you'll see not how big we're saying anything at this point.
the
Yeah,
crackle of
the-
the fire is distracting Ada significantly.
Yeah, the smoke is very, very thick, and as you all look at the bodies being piled onto this pyre and like plumes of smoke flare up as each body is added, Odrun, you are the only one who notices this. You see within the flames what looks to be the visage of 3 grim-faced armored women appearing within the flames. They have these large bird-like wings tucked tight against their bodies, and their long hair is flowing out behind them as if it's like made of the flames itself. And when they reach toward the burning corpses, they don't even like look at you. It's like they're completely ignoring your presence, but they reach down to the burning bodies. They beat their wings suddenly, and you blink and they vanish entirely.
Odrun would kind of smile to themselves. Oh, whoops.
Oh, wait, I can't
2
hear
seconds.
Joanna. Yep, you're muted.
Hi, sorry.
There you are.
Odrun would kind of smile to themselves a little bit and just softly say, safe journeys, friends. Safe journeys.
Hrolf stares off at the ruined ships, and he just kind of grumbles a little bit. He does look back at the pyre, sends up a little prayer to the stone court. May Thonir watch over you and in the halls of the slain. Well, that's a real hellhest of a situation we've got here. Nothing to be done about it though. Well, we don't got a ship, so... And he starts walking away.
Rolf,
Has nothing to do with the follow.
Rolf, where are you going?
Yeah, what? Nowhere! Are you coming with?
All right.
So, is that a figure of speech or are we going to nowhere?
Do you ask him that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sorry, did I not mention, yeah, the town nowhere, not like, no, not just wandering off into the middle of the wilderness, no, we need a ship, we,
Okay.
yeah, we gotta get back in contact with the Volve, can't really do that without a ship, so, yeah, nowhere is the closest settlement around here, and our young new guest, also probably needs some protection, and the Volve will probably be able to have some answers for you as well, miss. And Siobhan looks up from her wicker cat chair. Um, and she seems like a little bit quieter than she was before after like the bloodbath and the burning. Um, but she's like, yeah, I mean, I, I've always wanted to go out exploring, but I never really had the chance to. So, as long as I get to go see new things, I'll go wherever. Great, fantastic. All right, team.
Rolf?
Well, should we head out now or should we rest up? What do you all think? Yes.
Rolf, before we go, we never fully got to talk about what we found in the tower.
Yeah, that tower's weird, right? It's really weird. That's not a normal tower.
That's why we're here, right? Just gonna look over at calls like, are we missing why we're here?
Well, so the Wolf sent us here because this was in their visions. We found a sphere there. Ada, you might understand it a little better than I did. What was that? Like,
It seems to be some sort of I don't know, maybe some sort of a divination. It felt like it was both trying to tell a story, but also answering questions that we had. It was very magical.
Did you find any answers?
maybe?
Maybe. We saw a vision of what we think was the Lost Lands being destroyed and Grimnir being created. We may have seen Grimnir's destruction.
That sounds like information we might want the wolves to know. That's like the destruction of Grimnir, like all of Grimnir, like not even like.
As far as we could
That's
tell.
heavy. Definitely
There's
heavy.
very little context, but conclusions have to be drawn.
Well, things are certainly up for interpretation, and nothing's ever set in stone, you know. Well, we're certainly not gonna find answers sitting on our arses here. So, do we need to rest up and set out in the morning?
I would say yes.
I think we definitely need a rest.
Yes, certainly a lot to process. Why don't we all just take it easy and, it's a few days to get to nowhere from here, by foot. Wouldn't be nearly half as long if we had a ship, but, you need a ship to get to somewhere, and to get to somewhere we need to... it's a big old mess. But rest up, we'll, start our hike in the morning, I suppose.
Fair.
Is there anything anyone wants to do before taking a long rest?
Will cast Goodberry and pass one around at least to help alleviate any hunger, considering we've probably just lost a lot of our supplies. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, that means everyone gets at least one, including myself. And who looks the most hurt? They can have an extra Goodberry.
They can actually also have mine. I don't really eat.
Okay. So we have 2 extra Goodberries. Who needs an extra Goodberry? I'm just walking around with my little pine cone, just taking one. Here, some food. Feel better. Improving party morale.
I'm also staring at the ocean, so yeah, I'm not the poor sir.
well, I'm gonna come over, put one in your hand, close your hand around it. It's like, there you go. And then I just walk off. And since I have 2 extra ones,
Beautiful.
I'll give an extra one to Cole as a reward for killing the leader, because I'm just so happy about this. And then maybe Ada. So you get 2 good berries each.
Thank
Ada's
you.
so squishy.
Oh, Ada.
Squishy.
All
So
right,
bad.
everybody go and take back 1 HP for every good berry.
Yeah. But it also just makes you feel full for the rest of the day, at the very least.
Thank you.
Yes.
Colin Hap, nice work on the leader.
It was a team
really wanted
effort,
him
and
to
by
die.
team effort, I mean me and Cole are just the best team ever. Like I told Peralta, we were recruited for this mission, obviously.
Indeed. Well done, both of you.
It's true.
Mm.
I really wanted to
Yeah.
kill him.
I don't blame you.
And I
You saw
never
me about.
doubted you for a moment.
You saw me
You did
trying
very
to
well.
run and just jump on there, so I was feeling it too.
I do have a character question that I'm gonna kind of ambush you all with. Is there anybody who prays to any of the gods on the stone court, or anything you do like meditatively, as far as like I don't know, any deities that you acknowledge, or and forces that you call upon?
I do.
Yeah, Odrun.
Well, Odrun, at some point you'll see them sitting down and pulling out a little effigy to the god Palter, god of hope and beauty. Uh, and you'll see them kind of play around with it and brush it off a little as they're kind of thinking about things and excuse the cat. Uh, but you'll kind of see them doing that, and also writing down some impressions of Keckle, kind of in the journal.
Yeah, you have a small knitted doll of cleric, scarred up, holding an ornate mace. Yeah, and you do feel like at least a little bit of calmness after the hectic day you've had. Sorry, who was gonna speak next?
Oh, I was gonna say, Ada doesn't spend any time in prayer, but she pulls out her spell book and all of the papers that she took that were the rubbings of the stone tablets from inside, and she's just trying to compare if she recognizes any of the runes and anything, even though she doesn't speak the language. So she's just kind of meditating on that.
Okay. Make either a history or a religion check. 23.
It's an 18. I'm at disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you feel like the strain of the day, and just everything is aching, and but as you kind of keep yourself up and force your aching hands to like pour over these rubbings that you took, you do find a few passages that are familiar-ish. They're you you end up using some of Odrun's knowledge of the language to get it close enough to where you're able to understand it. But it seems to be a passage about primal forces and the magic that is inertly found in in the universe, in everything. It kind of sounds a little bit like Star Wars talk about the Force, like, oh, it binds the world together, and blah, blah, blah. So it's a little bit flowery and a little bit sappy in how it's worded. But it's the idea of these forces that go beyond individuals or religions or entities. It's just an energy that's inherent in things that that certain people can harness and shape, and it even hints at like creating pure matter or pure consciousness from this type of primal energy. Anything else anybody does before settling in for the night?
I mean,
Before it gets
Hmm?
dark,
Yes.
Northra would go and take Rolf off to the side to talk to him. Probably somewhere over near the tower to get away from the others. Like, she doesn't want anyone to hear as she stops, looks at him with this glare. What did we sign up for?
Well, we offered to pay everybody to get to this tower and find out what was going on at it, and I suppose we did that. I know things didn't go exactly according to plan, but things happen, and we make do, and we keep on moving, right?
There is something more to this, and I feel like someone should know.
Well, I certainly don't have any answers, but turns out that getting a little bit of insight now and then, and he points at his missing eye that it's like doesn't quite help me see the whole picture, Um, but you've interacted with the Volv before, right? You've gotten your birth runes and everything. We can certainly trust them to at least give us a little bit more insight on what this all could mean.
I'd be careful trusting them, to be honest. I feel like they sent us here with the least amount of knowledge they could give us. They had to have known more if these people are trying to stop us. Or at least someone.
It's a fair point. I haven't known them to steer us wrong before, but times are getting really tough now, especially with the winter lasting as long as it has. Um, I certainly won't say no to a abundance of caution. I can certainly respect that.
Well,
But you gotta be able to rely on someone, eh?
something might trust in you. For now. But I'd be careful. We all need to be careful. There is something more to this beyond all of us.
That there is. Alden guide us. Hopefully we'll find the answer soon.
And whenever he mentions the god, she kind of like flinches away a little bit. She's hesitant to trust in gods. So
Frolf kind of clocks that. He got 19 on his insight. But you see that he errs on the side of discretion and backs off, doesn't question it.
with that, I would head back towards the group. She would take off her cloak to reveal what is a actually really well kept dress. Probably an older one that part of a old clan maybe, but nothing very doesn't stand out. Nothing that shows anything from where she's from.
Narthra,
Perfect.
what how did you make it back from the ship? What happened with that third ship? Did it sink?
A lot happened with it. It went from people panicking to the mast coming down. Some people were knocked into the water. Some people were still trying to fight to keep the ship floating. Didn't really work when there was a giant hole in it.
Mm.
I hung onto the mast as long as I could, but it was pushing me under. Grabbed whatever I could, and well, I woke up on land.
Well, I'm glad you did. It's good to have you with us.
It's good to be alive, I guess.
I bet.
What does the nighttime routine look like for Cull and Hap?
Well, I don't have any particular gods I pray to, though I do acknowledge the squirrel gods, of course. That they're not the praying to sort. They're more primal magic-y sort.
course.
So after taking care of everyone the best I could with my good berries, Hap really enjoys, whenever possible, going up as high as they possibly can. So if it is possible for me to get to the top of the tower to just kind of take in the view, I would. And when I'm not with the rest of the group, that's when I might start playing around with a seed token I have, the heart seed, because now that all the ships are gone, it may be secretly hitting me how far away I am from my, like, tree grove home. Though, I'm not gonna reveal that to anyone. Maybe Cole, but nobody else gets to see that. So that's the closest to praying I would get during this downtime.
Cull, bless him. He's kind of a worrywart, but he'll never admit it. So he does at least keep a little bit nearby Hap, but definitely leaves Hap to have her time by herself because he wants to let them have that. But his meditation is more or less just polishing items and picking at them and plucking and like sharpening, or not sharpening, but refining the strings of his bow and his crossbow. It's kind of a nighttime routine that he has to do to center himself in a weird way. He doesn't have any sort of gods he believes in. He doesn't have any family aside from Hap. So he doesn't. His swords are the next of kin.
Cool. Yeah, the sun has already gone down, dipped below the horizon. The fog has mostly abated, though it's still pretty chilly. The snow is kind of let up. You're still close enough to the shore that you can hear that familiar lull of the ocean waves. And you see everybody in the party kind of like circling up in kind of like a ring of cots, sleeping bags. Somebody managed to scrounge one up and dry it off for Siobhan, thankfully, so she is warm. Erin seems to have found an extra blanket for her, even. So I'm gonna regret making you all like Aaron. I'm gonna feel like really bad if anything happens to him.
He's a dude bro with a heart of gold.
So,
I'm saying it is.
So go ahead and clock your long rest on your character sheets. Now, as you sleep, we're gonna do a little dream sequence. I like doing this with newer campaigns, just because it's fun to get a little peek inside everybody's brain right off the bat. So, let's see what everybody's dreaming about. Odrun, I'd like to start with your daily check to see if you take any psychic damage today.
Oish. Remind me what that one is. D20. Okay. Do. Oh my god.
Yeah, D20, I think, yes.
Oh. Still good.
Okay. So you do not
Just a
take
bad
any
dream.
damage from this. Yeah. You mostly see the same globe you were looking at in the tower. Especially the first part with the Lost Lands burning up. You see that kind of like on a loop in your head. And you also see the same thing happening to Grimnir, just like you saw in that globe. So that's the main thing you dream about. It's like you're standing next to it, but it's almost at the same time like you're flying over the land, like you're getting an actual like flying bird's eye view of it.
I think I think they'd also be fixated on that Ironwood Knight, essentially, that they saw.
Yeah, you hear just like creaking branches. You see ironwood trees, and you just feel like a sense of dread roll through you thinking about that. I'm gonna do Hap and Cull at the same time because your dreams are very similar to each other. You both dream of fire, flames, just the heat of it radiating from nearby, running, sprinting, sweating, ash, choking on smoke, trying to get away from it, and it feels like your feet can't move quickly enough. And you kind of stumble your way through as the dry air just presses in on you. And you feel like you can hear distant voices, but the flames just overwhelm what you're hearing.
That checks. No.
This is
What a pleasant dream. But no, that checks.
this sounds like a nightly occurrence.
That burning
Northra,
ship really triggered
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both of you make a insight check with advantage.
Us? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, just Hap and Cull. Okay. You will both
Nice.
notice in the morning that you each were thinking heavily about like the fire and the flames. Northra, your dream is not much better. You are underwater. I mean, I don't want to get like too graphic in the descriptions, but it's that like same kind of like overwhelming pressure. Like it feels like your ears are like imploding and your chest can't seem to rise. You open your mouth and no bubbles come out. And you feel another moment where you're like falling from a great height, and it feels like you're, just as you're about to hit the ground, you blink and you're somewhere else. You seem to be in the middle of battle, and then something like a sharp pain hits you, and you black out. Everything's very chaotic. It seems like you're going from one moment to the next, very chaotically, one after the other. Each moments of pain and feeling like this tension, this pressure, but this wall that you can't seem to get past, and it just keeps pulling you back into these repeating scenarios.
Yeah, I'm definitely waking up silently.
Yeah, you still get your long rest, but it definitely like messes with you. And then Ada, in your dreams, you're just walking in one of the workshops in the tower. It looks cleaner than it did before. But you see a shadowy figure who seems to be working on the workbenches, jotting things down in a notebook. They don't seem to be able to hear you or see you. It's like you're seeing it through a sort of haze, a kind of mist. But you see this figure working over piles of what looks like scraps, but the figure kind of weaves their hand over it, and you see the shape of scraps start to wriggle and move and turn, um, and you see a shape of a small little rat that starts sniffing around. But in various states of uh, trauma, rehashing memories of whatever it is you're thinking about, you all eventually wake up the next morning to the lovely volcanic landscape called the Fanged Sands, over which you now have to traverse. Now you've already seen this landscape. It has that lava flow type rock to it. This whole island, the island that makes up um, that has Keckle and nowhere on it. It's all very volcanic, and so even with the snow, you get this weird contrast of like hot, heavy, sulfurous kind of ground. It kind of stinks everywhere. Um, and as you wake up in the morning, it just kind of overwhelms your senses. And as you get ready to travel, you realize you're going to be moving further inland, away from the seas, and further into just this hot, rocky, almost entirely barren landscape.
Well, that looks unpleasant.
Quite.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun. It's fine. It's fine. We can handle a bit of walking. We can handle it. It's not gonna be that far. Um, just a couple of days on foot. How hard can it be? Tick 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 tick. This is so hard.
Rolf, you don't have to make the best out of everything. You know,
Ada.
it kind of sucks anyway.
Knowing that I know where nowhere is, how long do I think it will actually take to get there?
Definitely a couple of days. Let me double check the exact distance. Probably about a week.
Rolf, Adrien is right.
Mm.
We're going to have a hellish week, we can just say it.
Well, as long as we're working together, we'll make it there, right?
Now that I can agree with.
I can disagree with that. I won't say that out loud, but if anybody can read my face correctly,
I see
that
that
might be what it
tail, Hap.
says.
I see that tail, Hap.
But
I saw that little swish.
I'm gonna try very hard to make my tail very still.
Norther's just gonna step up. He's like, "Here, let's drink to a shady week."
Oh boy.
There it is. There's.
Did we wait? Hold up,
Yeah.
hold up. Did anybody check the globe before we left to see if it recharged by any chance?
Go up and check it.
We can.
Can hurt.
Did it recharge? Is it?
You make your way all the way down through the basement, all the way up, through all the obstacles, through all the barriers, and up, down, slides, avoid the traps. It's still completely dark. It looks like it's completely kaput.
Damn.
It's a good thought.
You know, if we just had thrown a rope outside the window, it would have been much easier to climb up. I don't know why you guys suck at climbing.
You know, I guess we all should have let you do your flying squirrel impression out the window.
It would have been amazing.
Yeah,
But anyway,
have fun with that one.
just
I'll
saying.
see you at the bottom
Would've
when you
went
need
really well.
medical attention.
We weren't all blessed to be squirrels, and it has to be said.
That's fair.
Anyway.
Not all of us were that lucky.
Mhm.
Do we have one more go at getting something from that hand? No, probably not. We broke that hand.
We broke it.
You
Never
broke it.
mind.
Yep.
Bell destroyed it.
And
Oh, well.
Odrone.
If it helps meta knowledge, you're not missing too much.
Okay.
So, let's see. Everybody make a. This is gonna sound random, but a history check.
Oh.
That should have just been normal.
I did it to myself, but this disadvantage is killer.
Ooh. Yeah,
so-
it's hard us too.
Yeah, we might need to readjust it a little bit, maybe, because we had you start at 1 exhaustion, and then you were at 2 by the end of the tower, and now you're back up to 1.
No, I'm re-rolling every day. So at one point I was
Right.
at 2, but then we had enough time it reset, and then I was at 1, and I got through it, and then I rolled under a 5, so now I'm at 1 again.
Maybe
you're
you
back
should
down
change
to
it to
1.
be like mine, where it's the 20 and only the 1 or the 2 is bad.
Yeah, we might need to play around with that. But we can rebalance that. Speaking of which, now that you are done with your first adventure, we're not gonna do it right now, but after we log off tonight, you all can level up to level 2. So that should not be relevant for the rest of tonight. It shouldn't make too big a difference. But
Why? I
just
was
so you're
right
aware.
up.
I see an enemy in the distance.
Also-
Let's go.
Let's go. Also, very important, you all gain your first point of glory. So,
Yeah, I knew it. I knew killing that leader was gonna pay off.
yeah. So, your first glory point, this is specific to the Raiders of the Serpent Sea adventure. This isn't gonna come up a whole lot just yet, and it is gonna only happen when it makes narrative sense for people to have heard about it. But once the story gets around, you will be known by name at feasting halls near your first remarkable achievement. So in this case, that's nowhere. Once they hear about this, they'll know, oh yeah, the Tower at Keckle thing. So.
And you can bet
They will
Hap
know
is
you
going to be
by
singing
name.
our praises to anybody who will listen.
Heck yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
We have our herald.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
after, it's a full 2 days that pass without incident. So so Ada and Odrune, go ahead and do one more day of no, I guess we're 2 full days later. So this will be like morning of the 3rd day. So do your rolls twice, I guess.
Oh.
And did you get a
Oh.
1?
I'm half speed that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it definitely poses a setback. Yeah,
Girl,
we're
we
gonna
need
have to
fix
readjust
that.
this. That is, yeah, we should change it to a 20. Let's have you roll a
Okay.
d20 from now on.
Okay.
And let's,
Right now,
re-
a 1 is 2 levels. A 2 through
Right.
4. No, I think it's 2 through 5. Let me open it.
yeah,
Is 1
actually
level.
re-roll that last one.
With a 20.
Yeah, with a d20.
That's better.
Okay. Yeah, it feels like it's gonna be a rough night. Like you're getting ready for bed and you feel in your bones that it's gonna be a rough night. But somehow, like there's no precipitation. There's none of your usual triggers. Somehow you manage to find a spot of actual moss that supports you in the night. And yeah, Hrolf ended up finding some willow bark. You don't even know how he found it. It was just like found scavenging. So so you just feel a little bit better and a little bit more like just a whole perfect storm allows you to fully recover from your latest like
Beautiful.
flare up. So the next by the 3rd day you're feeling like okay, like relatively functional and normal.
Cool.
I won't have any
Elf
exhaustion
is my
too,
new
right?
favorite.
Yes, that is also correct. Northray, you were fully recovered from your exhaustion.
Yay!
And
Oh,
Odrun, did you get any psychic damage?
No, I actually am doing okay for now.
Good.
My
It's
nightmares are
nice when
just
our nightmares
nightmares.
don't give psychic damage.
It's nice when nightmares are just nightmares.
It's still rough, but so by day 3, Hrolf is like, there's sand in my boots. There's
There's a snake in my
thrice-
boots.
thrice damn. This is this look near damned rocks is just. How do people get around without boats? It's
Speaking
so
of
far.
Speaking of
You
Loknir,
just can't get anywhere.
did
It's
I
called
show you the
being
head
able
I
to
got?
walk.
Ooh, the head is very interesting.
Did I show you the head?
What a what?
It's probably very heavy too. How are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm doing all right. You know, it's not that heavy. So I show him the head.
I mean, Rolf, look what
That-
they're doing. They're carrying this
That
head,
is
and they're
absolutely
fine.
wild. I cannot believe you took that with you. That is completely bonkers. I'm gonna be honest. It's a little weird. At least the eyes are closed. If it was looking at me, I feel like it would be weirder.
Yeah, it's not a real
can you
head.
keep it in the
Rolf.
box?
Yes,
Can you keep
it's
it in the box? Keep it closed.
It's in the
Thank
box.
you.
It's strapped to my back. It's in the box.
Appreciate
it's
that.
not a real head. It's just a
I
cast.
swear, this man has
It is
less
a-
balls than me.
It could be
It
a real
is
head.
a
We don't
cast of
know.
a decapitated head with its mouth sewn shut. That is
We
bad energy. That is. Ooh.
We don't know that. Perhaps it was just a really good craftsman. The box is
Odin bless
pretty.
Odrun.
You never know. It
It's
could be
like-
just a great artist. They could have been amazing.
He's like sending up prayers to the stone court, like for your protection.
I'm gonna walk
Um,
over to him, just stare at him. You need to grow some balls.
So anyway, let's keep hiking.
Oh god. If we
Anyway.
don't have Hap is just gonna have to make good berries every day to help us get through this, 'cause I don't know how much food we got.
Yeah, you do have
Here.
some. Yeah, you have some rations, but with the ships being fully burnt up, they're very slim, and that does seem to really alleviate the pressure of
Yeah.
that. The air is extremely dry. It tastes like salt and sulfur. Occasionally the wind just kind of whips up and the abrasive sand just kind of sprays across the exposed parts of your skin. Other times there's like no breeze at all and it's just still cold landscape, just completely devoid of vegetation. About partway through day 3, you do walk past just a random pile of stones, but they're painted red and stacked, and they stand out very, very boldly against the relentless grays and blacks of this ashy desert-looking place.
Wait, quick question.
Anybody who got a yes?
Oh, I was just about to ask.
Yep, the history check. Did anybody get a 16 or higher?
I did. Got a 19.
Odrun. So Odrun, yeah, you've definitely seen these in wanderings through like places further away from like shoreline settlements. These are very likely trail markers. The red usually symbolizes this is the end of the trail. So you do also notice with that down towards where the coast is, a ways away, it looks to be remnants of a dock. So it looks like this might have been a caravan stop or a raiding port or both. But just a little bit more of a sign of civilization than just the blankness that you've seen for the past 2 days.
So when you say this is the end of a path, like it's the end coming from nowhere, like we've reached kind of our
Yes.
version of the beginning of it.
Yeah, you've reached the
Okay.
beginning. But for people leaving town, they'd be like, oh, that's the end of the path.
Well, this is a good sign. Anybody care to check out the dock? Maybe we could try our expert fishermen and see if they could get us some fish.
Yes. Cole wants nothing more than to be near water.
Okay. I need one person to make an investigation check.
Ooh, could someone help me do it?
I mean, I am super curious. I am always down.
Yeah,
So.
Ada, go ahead and roll it with advantage.
Oh.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you almost miss it. Yeah, the advantage is what gets you on this. DC was 20 for this, by the way, so there was a high chance of you not finding this. You find a small buried cache of goods wrapped in a rotten blanket. Let me put some loot in the chat. Loot area 03. No, 02? Is that it? Let me check. Yeah, 02. Come on, do that thing.
Get that
Let
loot
me.
in the chat.
There we go. Yes. So you find some diamond dust, a couple of pearls, and a bit of silver.
Not half bad.
So not much, but not terrible. Oh wait, is that the right one? One sec.
Is it?
Nope, that's not the right one.
Double treasure.
That's fine. I'm just gonna swap it with the next one because you're about to find. So early the next day. So I'm just gonna swap these. So buried cache definitely had this exact stuff in it. So,
Wait, but do we catch any fish? That's the important thing.
Yeah, none of this
roll-
catch is edible. I mean, my good berries are exquisite, though, just FYI.
Of course
They taste
they are.
amazing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're very sweet.
Very
What kind of
hydrating.
check would you like to make for fishing? Like nature or survival? Probably survival.
I would like to persuade the fish to come to us. Is fishing... Look, fishing with the bait, if you have the right bait, it's really just persuasion at the very end. Or deception.
That's
Go bow hunting?
actually
Cole
Like,
uses his
wrong.
crazy
Yeah.
athletics to just grab the fish out of the water.
Look, I don't have a lot of skills, but I can persuade some fish. Maybe do some acrobatics to grab them after I've deceived them. Everything else is trust.
All right.
I'll just help,
So
actually.
let's do Cull make either an athletics or acrobatics check. Go ahead and make it with advantage with Hap helping you and trying to lure more fish closer.
I would like to point out that we started this campaign fishing and we were amazing at it. I don't know what you're saying. We were so good
And
at
you
fishing.
continue to be fantastic.
Yeah.
You do catch a couple of trout. Yeah, decent sized fish. Should at least be enough for a heartier meal for at least the evening for everyone. But yeah, very successful fishing. And a little bit extra for the next morning if you want to have like little Scandinavian breakfast. So by early the next day, this is gonna go kind of quickly, so don't worry too much about like the daily checks and all that. Like, go ahead and roll them if you want, but I'm just gonna kind of like, hustle through them a bit, until we need to slow it down. So early the next day, the weather gets a bit more foul. There is a decent amount of snow pelting the ground. There seems to be a bit of a storm blowing in from the north. Visibility is a little bit reduced, but not so much that that you can't see a broken wagon with a couple of skeletons around it, right on the side of the trail. It seems to have crashed into a ditch. Only the very bleached bones remain of the corpses of what seems to be 3 dwarves and 2 elves. There's actually debris indicating, as you look closer, that there was like a whole caravan here, made up of 4 wagons.
Their loot.
This loot you do automatically find. And it's totally not the loot that you just found swapped around with anything. So you find some incense, a very lovely jeweled horn, a ruby, a small diamond, and a little bit of copper. Some pennies.
Man. Nobody thought food was treasure.
Well, considering they're skeletons, I'd be
they
willing to bet.
probably ate the food.
I was gonna say I'd be willing to bet others ate the food.
Well, if they were sensible people, they would have stored a cache of food somewhere underground where no one could find it, in many locations. That's the smart thing to do.
Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is.
As
Hap.
long as you
None
can't
of us
find it.
are. None of us have been blessed with such wisdom. We're very, very fortunate to have you to drop this
Yes.
wisdom upon us.
You should really join a caravan and like go around giving advice. I think it would greatly benefit society.
It'd be
I mean,
kind.
this caravan probably could have benefited. I'm just saying, because they do look like they needed some help.
Be a bit
As
like
they flip to a skeletons.
be a bit like a fortune teller, except without the fortune part. Just giving you the advice. Skip straight to the advice. So what would your, as we're walking along, so Ada, what would your part be in that traveling caravan? We've got Hap to give us the advice.
Yes.
Quite sure. If people had magical items or what they thought were magical items, I could try to figure out if they actually were, and then tell them what they were, and that could be a service.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I got off the top of my head.
Another type of advising, magical advising.
Yes, appraisal. That's the word.
Ah, yes. Northra, what would you do in a traveling caravan?
I'd probably be the guard, if anything.
Be the guard? Makes sense.
I got enough scars to prove I've been in battles.
People wouldn't mess with you.
I know what I can do. It'd be much better. I know how to give tattoos now.
You know how to give tattoos?
Yes, I just learned.
Really? Wait, just learned like 5 minutes ago.
Yes, of course. It suddenly came to me.
You've mastered tattoos now.
Yes.
You've been practicing for a while.
Yes.
I love primal wizards. They're just
so cool.
It's such a fun feature. Like, you can just tattoo anybody.
Well, at some point, I'll have to have you add to some of my tattoos. That'll be fun. Call.
Oh yeah, do you want to hear
my
the story
God.
about this tattoo? Aaron speaks up for the first time in like 3 days.
Yes.
Yes, we want to know that story.
Yes.
Yes. Wait,
So-
which tattoo? Which tattoo is this?
He has one tattoo, and it's a tiny little saber-toothed tiger on his
Is
pectoral.
that his only tattoo? Really? I feel
It is
like
his
that's
only.
my favorite.
Well, yeah, you even notice that instead of a birth rune that you would get when you're 18, he has like a leather bracelet cuff that has the rune carved on it. So he doesn't even have the usual tattoos that most raiders have. He's like, well, so I got this tattoo about a year ago because when I was growing up, saber-toothed tigers were my favorite animal. So I got a tattoo of a saber-toothed tiger.
That is
Can
a
I make an
legitimate
insight
reason
check to
for
see
that.
if it's a real tattoo or not?
Yes. Make this will be either perception or investigation.
It's 18.
Okay. I'm going to roll a d20. If it's less than 10, then it's fake. Okay, it is
Oh.
real, but it looks like it was very hastily made. And like there could have been more details added to it, but they just were not added. Probably, you assume because he chickened out.
Kind of a shitty flash.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And he says nothing more. Travel continues for 2 more days. Gradually, the route that you're on begins to rise into some low hills, a little bit less flat than it was before. It starts to take more effort to climb because the earth is very soft, very crumbling, very uneven. Siobhan's chair, she's having a blast with this because she's like, wow, back home my wheelchair certainly wouldn't have made it past this kind of terrain. This is fantastic. So she's
So
very much
slow.
enjoying herself. I'll have to check the Wicker Cat's speed because it might be faster than yours.
I'm mostly joking around anyways.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna
Um,
slowly start a race.
Yeah. So it gets to be evening, and then Hrolf points over the next hillside, and he's like, "Oh, look there! Look, we can reach that by tomorrow." At the very tippy top of a hill, miles away, you see what looks like it might be a triangular peak of a rooftop. Looks like the first sign of life that you've seen for like several days since the dead caravan. So in the fading light, it's kind of difficult to be certain, but it looks like you almost see a couple of rooftops there, couple of little triangular, just peaks pointing up out of the darkened landscape. Hrolf seems to be in an excellent, exuberant mood at the campfire that night. It's like, oh, we're nearly there. Destination is at hand. We should make it to proper civilization and a proper port. Most importantly, with a boat by tomorrow.
Sad, I was enjoying our time out here. Reminds
By
me of
midday
when
the
I had
next
to stay out
day.
in the wild by myself.
By midday the next day, it's very clear. Okay, so I was mistaken. We were not quite as close as I thought. As you get closer to what looked to be a good number of buildings, turns out to be just a small cluster of huts. Just 3 small, weather-beaten wooden buildings. They're built into a small plateau just on a sloping hillside. It looks like there are some farming fields in the area nearby, but it looks long abandoned, covered by rock, and a ways away, you see what might be a forest, but it's like kind of off the path that you're on. The sky is starting to creep in with gray. These roiling storm clouds seem to be approaching and getting closer to where you are. You see the occasional blip, a little arc of lightning illuminating the horizon. But you are getting closer to those 3 huts on that little overlook. And Hrolf is just kind of muttering the whole way. He's like, look, it looked like a city. It looked like we were getting close. I'm sorry. I feel like we're a bit further away from nowhere than I thought. Either that or we're going a bit slower. It's hard to travel in these kinds of groups. And, I mean, also, my cursed leg never really recovered. I'm pretty sure a bit of muscle is actually missing, like
I'm
a whole
going
chunk
to
of it.
smack him on the back of the head. Shut up.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay, give me a second. my sheet wants to load. Okay.
17. He looks a little hurt by that.
No, there's no call to be
I know we're.
There's no call to be
I know
fighting
it's.
amongst ourselves. He's just, he's disappointed.
Hap
He
is
doesn't
not
like
going to
it.
say anything because it has been several days of no trees at least. This landscape sucks. So
I pass Story to Rolf and say, "Tell the weasel your troubles." And just
Oh,
keep walking.
Story. Story, you won't believe. The sand is just impossible. It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, and
You
he seems to
did
feel a little bit
not.
better. I did.
oh,
I did. I can and I will.
No.
Have I shown you my Star Wars tattoo?
Nice.
Oh my god.
I can't.
You know, that just reminds me,
And
I
we
do
just
actually
had
have
May
a tiger
4th.
tattoo. Too. I am
Nice.
Aaron in real life in a different man.
Yes. Yeah, May the 4th be with you, everybody.
Revenge of the 5th.
Yes.
Revenge.
So it does look like the three huts are very much on your path. The storm clouds are approaching, and I don't know if there's more information you could probably glean if you get closer to it.
Are the huts looking like they're very much inhabited? Or can we tell?
So as you get closer, you can see that they're very worn and very old. Some of them are kind of like overgrown. Let's see. I don't think I have a way to share artwork with you, but I'll have to show y'all next time. But this is the really annoying thing is like they include things in the Dungeon Master's Guide of like, look at this really cinematic looking scene here, and it's like, great, can we put that in the art pack on Roll20? It's like, what art pack on Roll20? They don't need an art pack. So yeah, then I have to like do a whole long process to actually make it visible.
So sad.
But yeah, they do look long abandoned, though the roofs do seem to be, for the most part, intact. Yeah, there's a couple leaks here and there, but it does look like usable shelter. And it is getting to be late evening, and you hear. There we go. Thunder! There we go. Off in the distance.
Well,
Yes, this is Camp Night.
I was. Yeah, we should probably just maybe somebody take a set a watch or something in case somebody sneaks up on us.
I'll do it.
Oh, we can take turns.
Paul kind of just wants to sit in the rain.
Yeah, so you make your way to these huts. There does seem to be one that looks a little bit more sturdy than the rest of them. And as you get close, it's just on the next hilltop as it begins to lightly snow on you. But then it turns to these like cold, wet rain pellets. The wind starts to get nippier. Whoops, no, I already have light wind going. Let me get light rain. There we go. Little bit rainy. If we don't have ambiance, you can't tell what's happening. That's the rules.
Exactly.
But the wind does kind of pick up, and your clothes are just kind of like fluttering. You kind of have to hold your cloaks closer to you. Sharp pellets of rock on the landscape are being tossed about and whipped around, cutting at any exposed skin that you have. Rolf just kind of scowls it, and he's like, smells like death. because it does make the land stink a little bit more.
That's a bit
Um,
ominous.
And as he says that, a little cluster of sand just kind of streaks across his face, and it almost makes like a small like scrape on his face. And he goes, "Ha ha ha ha!" And he flips off the sky. Just, I suggest we find cover, and quickly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you cursed us with this by saying we were close. You had to say something.
Yeah, everybody get inside. The rain does seem to be picking up. There we go, heavy rain. Sorry, that was a little abrupt. But yeah, it's like very heavy rain, and the sand is being kicked up in your faces as you finally make it to one of the buildings, and you are able to get inside, and the sounds from outside do diminish as you're able to get finally a door between you and the outside world. And for the first time in several days, probably longer because you were at sea before you reached the tower, been a while, but you are inside a building. And Joanne, if you want to take us to the map screen, I do have a map for this one, just in case you want an idea of the ambiance. The rain does continue to pour outside. The other two raiders whose names are in my notes that I would have to look up to find them, they get a fire going in the fireplace and manage to find a lantern somewhere that they're able to light. But everybody has a chance to like dry off, rest, cool down. It's not cushy, but simple wooden interior. A couple pieces of furniture do still remain, though there's not really anything left on them other than what you put there.
If we're setting a watch for the night, I'll also cast an alarm spell to go over the entranceway. I won't be able to get like the whole building, but at least the obvious entrance.
Beautiful. Let me look that up, actually.
It just tells me if like any creature passes over it.
Okay. And you're putting that kind of just outside the front door?
Yeah, kind of just like on the threshold.
Okay. Awesome. Is there anything else anybody's doing?
I'm hiding in a corner.
I would be nosy as hell. Kind of taking it all in. Also, can I see the forest from any of the windows?
Yes, you can see it from this top right window. And a little bit from the window next to it, but not as clearly.
Is there anything distinctive or interesting about this forest? Is it far away?
It's pretty far away. Just looks mostly green and brown. You would notice that there's nothing silver or shiny about it.
Okay.
Are those stairs going up, down?
Ooh.
Stairs. What stairs?
Kind of,
Oh.
right there.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Those were part of the stock map that I got.
Fair.
And,
There is no
are not
upstairs or
part of these
downstairs.
stories. There are no stairs. It's just a bunch of wood in the corner that is doing absolutely nothing.
Fair.
There's no stairs in Bossing, so.
They have
Mhm.
building
No stairs.
material.
There are no stairs. These are not the stairs you're looking for.
That's funny. Odrun would probably come and check out. Woo! See if I can do it without moving the map. Check out this window. Just kind of hanging out over here. Anything interesting to see?
Roll a perception check. Do you have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision? No.
Don't. Okay. Roll it with disadvantage then.
Okay. It's dark.
It's dark. It's rainy. There's a lot of sand. You mostly just see the path where you were coming from.
And all that sand.
All the sand.
Paul just found a spot where there's a leak and he's sitting under it.
Looking like satisfied or frustrated or just.
It's just like he's just sitting there and it's like kind of just dripping onto his head and he just has his eyes closed and he looks the most content.
Love that.
Happens to walk over, hand you her little water. It's like, here, fill us up while you're over here, please. Canteen. Probably the first fresh water we've seen in a while.
If it is fresh, it might be being filtered through the moss up on the top. Who knows if that's good or not?
It's like you've never lived outdoors. You just gotta take what you can get.
It's not quite that I've
Also,
never
she
lived
doesn't
outdoors.
Drink water.
It's that I don't consume anything.
But
They don't drink water.
no water.
I don't drink water. I don't. I
Paul
don't
seems a little
breathe
sad.
air. I don't
In my
breathe-
head, you are a tree, and trees need water, and I just feel so sad for you.
I also don't breathe air.
Okay, well, I mean, the air is more scientific than Hap is willing to admit, but the water?
I don't eat. I don't sleep.
What if you sat under the water like what Cole is doing? Maybe that's good for you. I feel.
I think it's neither here nor there, but if you'd like,
Oh,
we could try it if Cole's willing to share.
I feel like you need to be watered. I have a strong instinct that you need to be watered.
All right.
Paul
So I'll step
Paul
out.
gives in and scoots over.
I was gonna say I'll just step Odrin will just step outside and stand in the rain for a couple of seconds and then walk in, just be sopping wet, and say, "Hap, are you going to be all right now?"
Does that druid look better? More lively? More hydrated?
No. No, Odrin looks more wet.
More
This
annoyed.
is a very strange tree. I don't.
Yeah, Odrin, you feel it trickling in between spaces.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it kind of tickles in an uncomfortable way, quite frankly. I mean, the sand is the same thing and all of that, but I have. It's gonna sound weird to explain this, but I have extra crevices that everyone doesn't have.
Did it clear the sand out of
What
those
a way to
crevices
word
at
it.
least?
Well, it did take the sand out of it, sure, why not? Yes, it took the sand out of my crevices, thank you.
I'm gonna count that as a small victory. The trees watering somehow worked. This is confusing me. My instincts are very upset.
It's all right, Hap. I
I'm
promise.
coming in the corner.
I promise
And
I
you're
have
like-
lived, well, at least this time around, I've lived a little over 30 years. And, it's, I'll be fine. I promise.
Hap's so used to like the trees and Call just thriving off of water, so someone absolutely not needing it just cannot be comprehended.
This is not how the world works.
Um,
That's not how trees work.
Oh, Drew, you said something interesting just then. Sorry, not related to trees, Hap.
Oh, that's fine.
This time you've lived 30 years?
Yes, well, so Wicker have an odd way of reproducing. Um, we well, essentially, there's kind of two ways that this can happen. Uh, and, and they kind of settle down till you can tell they're getting into, they're kind of excited because nobody is really all that curious about them and like their people. Um, but so Wicker have two ways this can happen. One is it's kind of like you get old, you come to the end of your life, you know that you're about to die, and it's like a form of reproduction. Uh, you start to construct your next form. You put it together and all of this, and then there's something magical that none of us can really explain. But our consciousness gets moved over, but it's like it's a different part of our consciousness that lives the next time. So it's kind of almost like past lives, almost like ancestry. And then there's the other version of it with which is if you die suddenly, some of my ancestors have. Like suddenly, violently, you're killed in a fight or something, and then you come up as a little sproutling, like a little tree, and uh, you grow up kind of like how a normal child would, of any other variety of human, elf, beast, etc. Um, but if it happens to be the more peaceful option, whoever makes the body gets to decide how old you are. And they actually built me, so I was built as a full adult. Um, so it's kind of like this time around. I don't remember too much. I get flashes sometimes. I think that's where some of my nightmares come from. Um, but it's complicated. But that's kind of a little bit about Wicker. None of us really know where we came from. We all have our theories. We all have our ideas. We all have our lore that we all tell. Um, but when I talk about whatever family I might have, it's family, but it's also kind of myself, if that makes any sort of sense.
It does.
I'm going to walk over, put a hand on your shoulder, and say, I know kind of part of what you're talking about. I
Really?
understand.
Really?
I mean, yeah,
did,
kind
did you know some Wicker, or?
of. Sure, yeah. You can all roll insight on that if you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I personally don't believe that, but 17.
Will I?
Okay, it's a lie. Um, yeah, Odrin will push a little bit. Wait, so if you don't know Wicker, then what do you know about something like this? What do you know? I'd love to hear.
I'm gonna look around at everyone, look back at you, and then kind of drag you over to the corner and whisper, Look, I. Life's difficult. It's hard to explain.
Okay,
I can't let everyone know this. So please, keep this a secret. But
absolutely.
I have died many times, and
Really?
I just wake up the next day.
You
I've
just
been
wake up.
cursed. Yeah, I've been cursed to forever life, and ever since then, I can't. I don't know. And you seem to kind of understand that at the same time, and I don't know. I feel like you might be the closest to understand this.
Wow, that's so. Do you do you know what happened to curse you?
I went to battle and left one person alive that, well, they happened to curse me. This was over 100 years ago now.
Oh my.
I have died many times, and I have many scars to prove it.
I can imagine. What are you trying to find a way to end it, or how do you feel about all of that?
I feel like really all I need is a friend that can understand. I don't have to really end it if my life can be happy.
That makes sense. I can understand that. I was uh I was built by my predecessor, whatever you may want to call them. Um, I was built for battle, and I don't want to fight. I I I moved to a clan that was all about hope and beauty when all my ancestors ever thought about was just this mission and killing and fighting, and I don't I don't want to do that. I like pretty things. As
Well,
funny
that
as
makes
that
two of us.
sounds. Well, you can know that you have a friend in me, and I will not tell anyone. I promise.
Thank you. Uh, Hearing your story is the only reason why I'm telling you. This it helps get it off your chest sometimes.
That it does. I can understand that entirely.
She will reach into one of her pockets and pull out a little carving of a small little owl and hand it to you. Here,
Well,
take this.
thank you. Did you make this?
Yes. A long time ago, I lived in the woods in deep depression. I made a few small things that I've decided to keep over the years.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I love things that people have made themselves. I think it is one of the most beautiful acts of creation just to be able to make something.
Yeah,
So
it only
thank you.
took me 2 lives and 50 years to actually perfect it, but yeah.
Well, yeah, my uh my family's been perfecting things for a long time, so I can understand that feeling.
If I'm around when your next version comes around, I'll tell them how you were, your goals,
Oh,
and I'll try and keep them going into your next life.
You're gonna see her, or you're gonna see them tear up. If they could even cry, I don't know for sure, but sure they can cry. Um,
I just filled you with water, so this is the perfect time to
it's true.
release
You
that
did just
water.
douse me with water. Um, wow, thank you. That honestly means everything to me. And if anything ever happens and you fall again, I'll be sure to be there when you wake up.
Yeah, I always remember everything, and I always wake up usually the next day, so
All right.
just make sure the party doesn't leave me behind.
Never. I'll never
Thank
leave you behind.
you. And with that, she'll give you a pat on the shoulder and then walk back out to the others and kind of act like nothing just happened. Ugh, life's annoying.
Odrin's just gonna kind of look at that little owl and just kind of sit by themselves for a little while and take it and oh god, cat. Take it and put it in the same little place where she keeps the little effigy of Palter that they keep.
Okay, this music is about to get to me.
I know.
As the night goes on, Norther will probably work on a new carving slowly.
Yeah.
This one is going to be of our wicker friend.
Oh.
Um. Uh. Ada.
yeah.
Um. You are kind of seeing like everybody kind of grouping up and having these little like experiments, conversations, chats. Um. You've been I assume studying like the rubbings and the carvings and things like that. Um, make a either a religion check or an arcana check. Okay. Um, it's so the stuff you've been able to decipher. It's really hard uh, to pick out specifics and really glean much more than what you've found so far. Um, you do something odd though has been happening over the last several days. On and off, you've been having some weird dreams. Um, not every night, but at least every other night. Um, you picture yourself um, and make another Arcana check. This time with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go and roll it like twice.
15.
15. Um, yeah, you can almost feel like it's really happening to you, even though you can kind of tell it's a dream in the moment. You can feel the energy that's in the earth, that primal energy that you were reading about. You feel yourself shaping it. You almost feel a feeling of encouragement, um, urging you, like, you feel this sense of power, this sense of strength, this wild, untamed, unpredictable force, and you feel like if you tried, you could grasp it. So at this point and in the hut, nothing's really happening. But as these dreams have progressed, that feeling has been getting stronger and stronger. That this is something within your reach.
I think any time that dream happens, Ada would always take another step toward that, and the idea of power and being able to have more control over what's happening around her.
So, just as you all feel a moment of calm, and you feel like maybe you can sort of catch a break, um, did we decide if anybody was on watch or looking out windows?
I mean, I'm
Call.
looking out this window again.
I think Cull also said he wanted to take watch first, at least.
Yeah,
Right.
we can rotate.
Sorry, which window? I'm not sure I can. I don't know if mine updated.
I'm at the forest window, kind of thinking about forest, and it's like, how can I convince people that that's the path we should take? Because I don't like this other landscape.
Yeah. Yeah, Cull, you see a weird shape in the distance. It looks like a person walking very slowly. Um, they look to be wearing the typical like gambeson and cloaks that many raiders wear. You can't quite make out any more distinct features than that, but they do seem to be walking rather slowly right towards your hut.
There's someone in the distance. Right there.
Well, I respond immediately. Where? Where?
Who we killing?
Right out the window. Do we hide?
We can murder after the sad moment.
Is the fire going right now?
The fire in the hearth is going, yes.
Yeah, there's
we
no
can't hide
hiding at this
anymore.
point.
Yeah.
Time to use some
Okay.
fire to get fire arrows.
There you go. There's your fire arrows.
I'm totally not gonna burn down the house. Don't worry.
Okay. He just gets out his weapon just in case.
So would Odrun.
Okay. Okay. As you see the figure get closer, they don't seem to be going any faster, even though the rain and the sand continues to swirl through the air in the blustering wind. They're just maintaining a very steady pace right towards the hut. And it's only when they get close enough to trigger Ada's alarm spell. Ada, is this alarm in your head or out loud?
It would. I would have made it out loud because we're all right there.
Okay. Yeah, you all hear. Let's see. What's a good alarm sound? Yeah, you hear just something crossing that border, and it's only when they get within that range that you're able to see that it looks like it was a raider. It looks like a corpse, very waterlogged. They seem to be dragging little bits of seaweed with them. Um, Anybody who can see the front porch? Can anybody see the area within the alarm spell, like within this area-ish?
It looks like Cull could.
If I move over here to this side of the window, I can.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit. Unless they get like around this corner. So like if they're like around here, I can.
Okay.
How dark is it? Like if I'm right here in this window, can I still see without dark vision?
Yes. Yeah, there is enough dim light. Yeah, so Ada and Cull and Hap, go ahead and make a perception check. And if you don't have dark vision, do it with disadvantage, please.
I have dark vision.
Can story help me?
Whoever's in it.
Yes, story can help.
As long as it's an enemy, of course.
My dark vision isn't very. Okay, we gotta stop copying each other when the roll is bad.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta stop doing this. This is not the first time. It's only cute when it's good. It's like.
Ada, you're the only one who's able to see clearly, and it's probably just because of the window that you're in front of. But you notice that this seems to be some form of undead, and you see the same features of the raid leader that you saw on the boat that sailed off.
They just fucking dumped him. Excuse me.
Again.
Sure.
He's literally a sea monster. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Prolf. Here comes that sea monster you were talking about.
Oh hell.
You're really good at cliffhangers, KJ.
Is there a weakness?
Yeah. My blasting him again. That's his weakness.
Yeah, just you hear a thud against the front door, thud, thud, and Hrolf is like, just hit it with everything you got.
Good. How easy is it to open these windows that I can just like blast?
I would smash
you'll
one for
easily
you
be
if
able
you
to
need
aim out. Yeah, you can aim out the windows easily enough, as
All right,
long as you have a line of sight.
I'm gonna rush over here and be like, "Excuse me." There it is.
Sorry, real quick, go back to where you were. We're gonna roll initiative, and then on your turn you'll be able to move. So everybody roll initiative.
You're really good at cliffhangers, KJ, by the way.
You know, it's just working out. It's just really working out for me.
Oh.
It is really working out for you narratively.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it's not always gonna be this spot on, but I do like ending a session with initiative.
Good to know.
Wait, so we'll be level 2 then?
Yeah.
You will be level 2.
Okay,
So,
I'm less worried about it now.
So as the snarling and pounding on the door picks up, we will see what happens next time. As these level 2 heroes take on a zombie raider.
Yay.
I'm gonna be real honest here. The zombie raider was not going to be the leader, but that worked out very well for that.
Jerk shitmakes just freaking dumped him in the water. What the hell?
No
I think it's
kidding, no
because their boat sunk in the storms.
Oh,
I mean, I'm just
okay,
saying.
maybe.
All extra
Uh.
wants to kill this guy now.
kidding. Anyway,
He came back.
we're gonna
Stay
wrap
dead.
up right there. Um,
Stay dead.
yeah, we'll wrap up the session there and see what happens next time. Maybe you'll get to civilization. Maybe someday you'll have a boat. You know,
Maybe someday
and
we'll die.
yeah, maybe someday you'll die. That's also an option, but maybe not a permanent one, especially for certain folks in the party, as we are discovering. Yep, lots of fun
I just
stuff.
want to die.
Yeah, love the campfire roleplay. I love sessions like this where it's like road trip. Let's uncover and unpack those backstories. Let's unpack the trauma. Love it. All right. So, is there anything anybody would like to plug or promote this week? Cool. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We'll be back next Thursday at 8 Eastern, usual time. And we'll see what happens as these heroes fight their first zombie. Enjoy the I don't know how to sign off. What's it gonna bye?
Skull.
Go away. Bye.
Skull.
Yeah, skull.
Oh,
Skull.